Hello, beautiful ones. If you have ever found yourself getting caught up in anxiety over what should I do? I should be doing more. I can't believe I did that. There are so many anxiety provoking thoughts that have sprung up in my mind and in my life. I really want to guide you and I both back into the idea that has supported me the most. Remember that my background was volatile, and if you have come from a family environment that was chaotic, that had disharmony, that had disagreement, where there was arguments or conflict, what this creates is a base level insecurity within us. And what happens is that no matter how good our lives become, how much harmony, prosperity, and ease we create and master for ourselves now, there will always be a tempting idea that our lives can revert to that disharmony and chaos from our beginning. I personally have used my past experience to create compassion for others who are living in chaos, but also as a strong intention to choose harmony because chaos is such a comfortable pattern for me. It's such a familiar way of being that it allows me to return with a stronger, more devoted intention for harmony, peace, spaciousness, and tranquility. And I really want to offer you one of the ways that I continuously guide myself back, because remember, this isn't a one-time feat. No matter how many healing manifestations and miracles show up in my life to confirm that it is safe for me to have peace and be held in love and to have harmony in my home, there's still that concern and fear that I'm going to revert back. Really, really important to trust in perfect timing. And it's my path to have suffered in my formative years and to be able to use that suffering and transform it into something that will allow my life to then be a gift to others, including myself, where I can be an advocate for peace, where I can be a promoter of harmony. So I really want you to ask yourself, do you end up fearing that your past pain will resurface in your life in the present or the future? Question one. Question two, are you concerned that something could change in the future that would take away your peace or your harmony? These two ideas, that my past pain will reach back to me or that something could change in the future to take it away, are absolutely incessantly coming up in my realm. They come up in my thoughts, and my personal focus is not to wish them away, not to affirm them away, or not to desire anything different than what is, but to allow myself to be soft and gentle and compassionately recall that because this is my past, it will always be my fear, and that as I witness it with softness, it actually reminds me of why peace is so important for me, because it reminds me of that glimmer of the chaos that I came from. If you can feel in my being a deep commitment to peace, I get there by really telling myself that everything truly happens in perfect timing. If I rush myself through to try and accomplish something to think I'm going to be better off, that's just an illusion. And one of the pivotal moments in my life that have confirmed this, and you will have your own, was one day I dropped my son off at school and I was walking back to the car with my daughter. I think she was about 2 at the time. And my daughter's a runner. And we were near the road, and I let go of her hand for a moment because she wanted to twirl around a tree. She's a hippie tree hugging. Her name is Bo, short for rainbow. So I wanted to indulge a little bit of tree hugging. And what ended up happening was she stood right on the edge of the road and was between 2 parked cars and looked at me and had a little glimmer in her eye. Intuitively, I knew she was going to run. And the moment I saw what had happened, I was putting a few things in the car. I lurched forward and I grabbed her hand at the very moment that she leapt off the curb and a car shot past at that exact moment. I felt like I died in that moment. I instantly started crying. I put her in the car. I drove only 5 minutes to her childcare center, And I dropped her off into care, and I literally sat there and I cried for an hour because I saw the reality that my daughter's imminent death was just right there. And other people might not have seen the cues if they weren't paying attention and being aware to what I needed to do in that moment. And for me, having such a near-death experience, the sound of the car whooshing past, it's still something I can recall, because it was, when moments slow down, when you know that they're very, very important. And because I intuitively knew, and whether you believe that you get inner guidance, higher guidance, soul guidance, I don't care where the source of this true information is coming from your perspective, all I care about is that you're willing to pay attention to it. And so as I paid attention and acted on that information, she was safe. If I would have been momentarily delayed, 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it would not have been that way. And I feel so blessed by that experience, because everything happens exactly as it's meant to. And our judgment on the present moment, that it's bad or wrong or shouldn't be, is only ever invariably influenced by our past pain. And, there's a concept of equanimity that comes to a lot of the Eastern religions, is we want to be equanimous, we want to be neutral, we want to be non-attached to outcome. And every human being who has hurt in the past doesn't want to re-experience that same pain, because we know it so well. One of my dear friends lost her mother in a car accident. Every time she gets in the car, she kisses and hugs all of her family members and tells them that she loves them. Now, every time she does that, when she gets in the car, is because she has a very clear recollection of the danger of cars and vehicles, and that was the way that she lost her dear mum when she was only 8 years old. Really important to understand that her life is invariably changed, and she never wants that past pain to come up in her future. I don't respond that way when I get in the car. I get in the car and go. I don't try and hug everyone and make sure everyone knows that I love them. So please understand that your past invariably influences your mind to not want to experience whatever hurt you the most in your past, and you have no control over that. Anxiety is us mentally trying to seize control over the ebbs and flows of life, which is an impossibility. What we can do is we can hold ourselves in a neutral response. And when we're not in fear and we're not in anxiety, we're actually more capable of perceiving the moment and responding from truth. Now, there will be things that will happen in our lives that will be unpleasant, but I believe that I have the strength, the compassion, and the grace to meet them. I offer that to you as well, that your life is unfolding in perfect timing. I feel so much for the pain that you've endured. And I want to reassure you that it's highly unlikely that that is actually going to come up again. And even if it does, that pain has refined you to be someone who can respond in a very different way now. I really want to honor and respect who you've become. I really want to take away the power that your ego or your fear has to remind you of past pain and threaten your peace with it today. This is your sacred life. Don't allow anything to steal your peace now, especially because you did suffer so much in the past. Does the concept of perfect divine timing resonate with you? Have you had an experience similar to what I did with my daughter? It literally terrified me, and yet I knew what I needed to do in the precise moment I needed to do it, and I believe that's a truth for us all. I keep on being told that everything is unfolding in sublime perfection. There are so many people watching over the sacred series of events that are unfolding in your personal life and all of our lives right now. And I trust deeply that that's culminating into something very, very important. May we be present. May we trust ourselves. I offer this to tell you what I struggle with and how much the pain from my past bears down on me today and how I'm responding to that. Does this reach you, precious heart? If you're new to my channel, my name is Lysa Black, and I'm a healer and business mentor who loves supporting others to deepen into their truth so they can rise on purpose. I know that we're all here to play a sacred role. And I know that you are very, very important. I'm really happy that you are here and that you heard this, Tammy's Dirty Boots and Country Life, and wish you so much care. I will be back again for another live next week. All my love to you all now.